We are live. Well, at least that's what the button says there. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself. Hello, one and all. West Ham have winished? Well, we've winished because that's sort of like a win and a finish, isn't it? Perhaps I should start again, but maybe not. West Ham have finished their pre-season exploits by winning 1-0 against a team called Angers, which is a bit weird, really, isn't it? But I don't know about you lot, but that was the best stream I've had. In fact, I do know about you lot because I've just had a quick look in the live chat, and somebody else said that they'd watched it on ESPN3, which I think is what I watched it on. I watched it via the satellite, but it wasn't. I always thought ESPN was an American channel, but I seem to have some sort of South America, a Spanish stream or something like that. And it was absolutely fantastic because when we scored a goal, the commentators were just giving it large, like they do when they're on a concert. They're all really over the top. You go, crescent técnicos magníficos, Chicharito, goal! Magnificent. Loved it. I've always wanted to hear West Ham commentate by that, and it made a nice change from that was being, quite frankly, a load of old crap during the pre-season in terms of broadcast. I appreciate everybody that did try and do it, but this was proper. It was a proper broadcast. We had close-ups, we had replays. Having said that, after 4 replays, I still wasn't any clearer whether it was Hernandez, whether it was Antonio, or whether it was a goalkeeper that had put that ball in the back of the net. But it has been confirmed, it has been clarified, it has been rubber stamped, and apparently it was Chicharito. So there you go. Come straight back, start scoring again. We'll get into all the players and their various performances in just a second. So just welcome to everybody in the chat very, very quickly. Richie Van Rock has been down a pub. I know this because he posted it on Twitter. That's Richie Von Rock from the Sinks Like a Rock School of Scuba Diving. He's also a jewellery maker. Did you know? Hello, Tom. Hello. Do you want some sauce on me balls? I'm not saying that. It's not me being kinky. That's his name. Have a look in the general chat. Who else have we got on there? Hello, Connor. First in for once, he says. Alan Frost, Tom, Ben Davis, Phil McDonald, Kojo, Alice. Hello, Alice, by the way. She said, actually, the Ipswich stream was great because there was no commentary at all. Well, it's true, Alice, but I do like there's something a bit exotic about the South American commentary. If it was South American, it could have been Spanish. I don't know. Who cares? We got to see the game in full glorious Technicolor, which was great. Well, it was great for 45 minutes. So let's just go into that. I'm going to leave the live chat just quickly. Go back to my control panel. It's all a bit technical. Getting better at it, though. Getting better at working it. Let's go. So, Fabianski in goal. Do you care? I don't care, really, to be honest. He didn't have much to do. We kept a clean sheet, which is great. You know, really, really good. So, didn't get a chance to prove himself. My hunch, I think he's still going to go with Adrian for the first game of the season because that's what it's all about now. Obviously, we've got Liverpool coming up next. So, we're sort of all looking into these pre-seasons and thinking, what's he going to do? I think that's why you saw a raft of changes at half-time and just after that, which spoiled it, you know, just... Well, it ended it. But I understand why Pellegrini did it. He probably thought, right, I'm keeping him fit. I'm surprised he left Arnie and Noble on for so long, but they've played most of the minutes in pre-season, haven't they? So I'd imagine they're probably the 2 first names on the team sheet. So I do understand why he took them off, but the game lost all sort of momentum and cohesion at that point. So goalkeeper we've discussed. Then I'm going to go on to right back and Fredericks. Now, I think Fredericks has got the job. I think he is starting against Liverpool. I'll be very, very surprised if he isn't. And I like him. I like this kid a lot. He is rapid, rapidos, as probably the commentator might have said. He probably didn't. I just made it up. That's probably not even a word. But if they were to say rapids in Spanish, I would imagine it'd be very similar to rapidos. But he was good. He defended. He was quick. He seemed to try and link the play quite well. For a free transfer, we've got a hell of a player there. And I said probably earlier on in one of the other podcasts, cup of tea, something else that we do, I mentioned that I thought we'd probably look back at the end of the season and look at him and Wilshere as being, for all the money we've spent, that's about 100 million. I wouldn't be surprised if the 2 freebies look to be some of our best signings. So I'm expecting good things. I mean, he brings another dynamic to the team, and I was really pleased to see him. He was trying to link up with Antonio down that right side. Well, we'll get to how the sort of the front 2, 3, 4, however many there were interchangeable. We'll get to that in a little bit. Next to him, Balbuena, and I would say the same thing again, apart from the Rapidos. He's not Rapidos, but he's got a bit of cunning about him. He looks experienced. I didn't think you could pick those players up for that sort of money. And did we pay 3.5 million for him? I think he's in. I really do. I think him and Ogbonna are going to be the starting two, which is absolutely amazing. You think when we lost Ginger Pele, we lost the old James Collins there, and he's come in. I don't know how old is the guy. Maybe let me know. I'm not looking at the chat at the moment. Maybe let me know in a little bit how old the fella is, Balbuena, but he looks a very, very good player. Gave the ball away at one point, a bit of a silly one, but in the main, he reads the game very, very well. Seems no nonsense, not afraid to dip his head in and where it hurts and clear the ball. I like him. I think he's in as well. I think Frederick's in. I think Balbuena is in. So I've got Adrian and the two I just mentioned. Next to him, Ogbonna played all the game, didn't he? So I would imagine he's got it. Obviously, Diop came on in the second half, but it was a half-time substitution. Diop for Balbuena. I think he's going Balbuena, and I think he's going Ogbonna. And I think that he's probably even changed his mind. I'd imagine when he spent all that money on Diop, he was probably thinking Diop and Ogbonna. But he probably, I think, possibly Balbuena came in for a bit of cover. I wouldn't be surprised if he's come in as better than he thought he was. So, yes, I think Balbuena there. Cresswell has not played at all in pre-season. So that was a really good run out for him. And I thought he played really well. Of course, got the assist for the goal as well. He fell over. He looked like he got a slight injury, but it seems to be he was all right. And I think that Masuaku, because of the amount of games he's played, is probably going to get that spot on the left wing. But I do think Cresswell's performance today gives the manager something to think about. I do think Pellegrini will be quite happy that he's inherited two decent left backs there. So, yeah, I mean, again, I thought Cresswell was trying to link well and overlap with Anderson, but obviously Masuaku was doing that as well. So sort of take your pick on that one. I think because of fitness, I think Masuaku gets it, and he's had a couple of impressive performances in pre-season himself. We went with, people have been calling it all sorts of fancy formations. I thought we went with a 4-4-2. And the central midfield duo were obviously Wilshere and Noble. I thought they played like Wilshere and Noble really. We were a bit susceptible when the opposition had the ball and the opposition won the ball quickly. We obviously lost out in midfield, but you've got to sacrifice something if you can have two strikers, unless you're going to play three at the back. We ain't. Pellegrini does not play three at the back. So we're either going to play three in midfield, in central midfield, or we're going to play a two in central midfield. And that's why when they passed it around neat enough, still stick with what I say, which is I think Wilshere's going to be a really, really good signing for us. We've needed someone to control the ball, pass it, and also run with the ball as well in central midfield. And he does run with the ball. It's also very interesting watching Wilshere as well. He will demand the ball even if he's marked. And there was a couple of times I saw Noble, and Wilshere was saying, give me the ball. And that geezer was all over and climbing over his back. But Wilshere's still saying, come on, I'll take it. But Noble still didn't give it to him. So I think Noble's in that mindset of only sort of passing to people who are free and in space, because he's not used to playing alongside people with a technical ability of Wilshere. I'm pretty sure, for instance, when Lanzini comes back and other people like that, they're going to get some really good things going. And with really good technical players, you can trust them with the ball when you pass them the ball. So, I thought he did well. Noble did okay. And he's been solid all pre-season, really, hasn't he? Right-hand side, Antonio. And I thought he started really well. I think he was full of energy. I think if Pellegrini, that's why he had a proper miss. Who saw the miss? He skied. Actually, not only did he sky the ball over the bar, Diop completely missed with a header. And I think because I didn't expect Diop to miss. It was actually a good delivery from Anderson. Probably the only good thing he did all game, but we'll get to that in a second. Anderson put over a nice delivery. Diop completely missed it, which I think shocked Antonio. And then the ball bounced, and he tried to hit it on a half volley, but the ball was rising when he hit it, and it carried on rising after he hit it because it went way over the bar, and he sang with his head in his hands. But I do think, I've always maintained, he's going to score goals, and he will always score goals. And unfortunately, endeavour and strength and pace and stuff like that almost become dirty words in football, because in modern day football, you almost want everyone to have really good technique. And of course, that's advantageous. And for too long, we've not had enough players with good technique. But there's nothing wrong with a bit of strength and a bit of brute force, and I think he does bring that in abundance. And I think he played not bad. His ball control's a little bit of miss, but that's what you get. But he does bring other things. And when he is running side by side with a player, they don't get the ball off him because he's very good. He gets his body in front of them. They can't get it. He's so strong and he's so quick. So I'm pleased he's sticking around, and I think that's probably a player that's staying around. And Pellegrini thinks, actually, I can work with that guy and I can get a tune out of him. On the other side, well, it's the elephant in the room, really, isn't it? There's no way. Anderson was a bit shit. Let's be perfectly honest with each other. He was a bit crap. He was trying things. When he was running with the ball, he would nudge it too far in front of him, and then the defender would get it. He didn't seem to be running with his head up and keeping the ball close to his feet and tight control. He seems to want to knock the ball forward, then run onto it. And I've seen it a few times from him in pre-season now, and he's going to have a lot. He's going to have a lot of work to do. I think there's skill. There's lots of skill with him, but he's not going to be Ryan Fredericks. He is not going to be Jack Wilshere, who of course are both from the English game, and he's not Balbuena, who is he Panamanian? I think he might be. Anyway, he was played for Corinthians in Brazil, didn't he? I think he's just going to adapt straight away. I don't think Anderson is going to adapt straight away, and we're going to have to. This is not Dimitri Payet. If you remember Dimitri Payet's first game, he was absolutely outstanding against Arsenal. I don't think we're going to see that. Lazio fans said that he was inconsistent. The ability of a £100 million player, but he turns it on every third game. And so that's why he's 40 minutes. So I think we're just going to have to put up with that. That's what we're going to get with him. I think he's going to try things. And unfortunately, the simple things didn't come off for him either today, particularly when Cresswell was trying to overlap. So, yeah, not great. It's one game. I know I'm sure going to get comments there going, give him a break, Gonzo, it's pre-season, and so on and so forth. And I thought he was very, very good. And his first game he played, and the next two have not been quite so good. I do expect him to start, though. I do expect him to start against Liverpool, certainly feature. So, which left us, I do think we played a 2. Hernandez obviously got the goal, and he looked, considering that's his first game of pre-season, obviously he's been involved in the World Cup. I thought Hernandez looked sharp. I did. Obviously, he scored the goal. He will always score goals. And he kept on dropping deep and linking play. And what I was really pleased with about the way West Ham played today was the way that they were allowed to interchange their positions. So, particularly Anderson wasn't getting any joy on the left. But then he started drifting to the middle. That was good. Then Arnie popped up onto the left at one point. And now Antonio came into the middle as well. I saw Hernandez dropping deep and dropping wide and linking the play. Actually dropped deep almost into a right midfield position and then played the ball through for Fredericks, who overlapped him. So there was some really, really good stuff there. Arnautovic, of course, is he's just our best player, really, isn't he? And I think he looked a little bit at the start, a little bit out of sorts, that maybe he wasn't playing as the centre forward as he's been used to, but he still is our best player, and he's very efficient as well. A couple of really, really good passes. And the thing is, Arnautovic, if his skill is not coming off, then he still has a very, very good pass, and he's able to use his strength to unsettle defenders. So, I mean, when you're sort of lightweight, skillful player, if your skill isn't coming off you might not be able to offer an awful lot. But Arnautovic's got a lot more strings to his bow than just that. So we had a raft of changes. Declan Rice came on quite a bit later than the others, actually, played in central defensive midfield. First thing he did was make an interception, make a clearance, actually. So I'd be interested to see what he does, because obviously the big difference today was, I think, basically what happened was he took Declan Rice out and he put Hernandez on, and the shape changed. So I just wonder, I don't think that shape is what he's going to go in against Liverpool. I think the extra midfielder will be there, and I'm pretty sure it will be Declan in there. They brought Obiang on, Snodgrass on, and players that are just, and Martinez, of course. Cullen came on later on. Masuaku came on, did quite well, actually, did a really good run, won a free kick. And I think I think it's quite clear. We could all sit down and probably name 8 or 9 of the first team that he's going to select. So we are on to the start of the season. Those are my opinions of today's game. I'm going to flick over to the lovely chat room. Do we call them chat rooms anymore? Are they still chat rooms? I don't know. So, hello there. So, Kojo says, Hanonio. Of course, I said that at the start, didn't I? Alice says, actually, Gonzo, the Ipswich stream was great because there was no commentary. So we've done this. I'm going mad. I'm getting too old for this. Blaming lot. Good evening, all. Hello there, Michael. Victor Fens there. And what did you think of the game? Well, I've told you what I thought of the game. What you lot think about it in the general chat. We are just about to find out. And thank you, everybody, for joining as well. And we look forward to a nice weekend. I don't know if it's going to... It's a bit hot for me. I don't know if I said that. It's a bit hot. I'm sat in a cupboard, but I'm sat under the stairs, for those of you that don't know. I've only got one light on. If I turn the other on, it just gets too hot. They're quite... You see that? It's quite bright. So anyway, so Kojo says, is this the most exciting start to a season ever because of the signings? Kojo, I think the signings are they are exciting, and we should be excited about them. We really should. As I said on the forum, I was on hammersjack.com this morning, and we all chat on the forum about these things every day. And I said I think it's important that we don't try and measure ourselves against Liverpool, against Man City, because they will have better players than us. And we can't buy the players that they can buy. What we have to measure our business against are teams like Burnley, Crystal Palace and Southampton. And I think in those terms, I think it is very, very exciting. I think we've bought some good players. Now, you can't expect to buy 7 or 8 players and all of them to come off and be successful. It just never happens. It doesn't happen to anyone. I don't care what anyone says. But if we can get 4 or 5 of those players performing well in the first team, we've done very well. We've done very, very well indeed. Michael Charlton, by the way, he said team looked uncoordinated after the subs. It certainly did, mate. Yeah, Ben Davis typed something, but then the message was retracted. I wonder what that was. Interesting. Got me curious now, Ben. Richie Von Rock Rapido. That's what I'm talking about. Richie lives abroad, actually. Keeps on going to the... Well, I think he wants to make out it's a Tappers bar. He keeps going to the boozer. He takes his laptop in there and he watches all the West Ham streams. Is that am I right then? Is Rapido a proper word? I'm multilingual. Not really. It's all about a Liverpool away now. Ben Davis says Balbuena looks pretty good. He certainly did, Michael. Ben Davis, 26. Obviously, that's good. That means Balbuena, I asked earlier, didn't I? Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, he looks like a composure of someone in their 30s, and I know we've got a player there. I think that is someone that will increase in value. Not that I want to sell him. Great business, and that is knowing the international markets be able to do something like that. Richie says it looks like Rice will be a central defensive midfield. I think you're right for that first game. Better teams will play with 3 in central midfield. I agree, Victor. Forever Blowing Bubbles. Hello, mate. Are you the Forever Blowing Bubbles on the forum, by the way? Forever Blowing Bubbles. We've been talking, haven't we? Just yeah, let me know. The thing is when you do this West Ham stuff. So there are loads of Ironworks, Ironworks 1, Ironworks 2, Ironworks 3, and loads of sort of West Ham cliched names, Hammers and East London Hammer and things like that, sort of very, very generic West Ham names. When so many people have those names, the East London Hammer on the forum might be different to the East London Hammer on YouTube, might be different to the East London Hammer on social media. So it's always tricky to keep up with everyone. But I think Forever Blowing Bubbles has got the same badge on the forum. Final scoreline is, sorry, who's asked that? Rarama? Have I said that right? Hope so. It was 1-0. Hello, Chris Delby says he thinks Arnie has said that he's playing every game this season or he's off, including all the friendlies. You might be right, and he is so comfortably our best player. I think we need to do what we have to keep him sweet. Connor says, I'm expecting Gonzo to get his letter to Hogwarts any minute now. I was never a great watcher of it. Took me a long time to get onto the Harry Potter thing. And I think it's because so many grown-ups are reading the books. So, no, I'm going to do that. But when my kids were born and started watching it, I started watching the Harry Potter ones. There's loads of them now. I think I watched the first 2, something like that. I'm more of a Lord of the Rings fan, I've got to say. Bit of a geek for Lord of the Rings. What else have we got? Richie says, do you think Snodgrass has done enough in pre-season to be a squad player? Yes, I think he is a squad player. I'm disappointed if he's starting, though, particularly considering if we spend 100 million, we still got Robert Snodgrass starting, I'll be disappointed. But he has done enough. He deserves a chance, and I think he's going to be a steady Eddie for Pellegrini. There, Ben says, which teams do you think will go down? I was thinking of this earlier because Katie at Flump 9 TV, I think that's it. She's getting us all to send in videos to do our predictions. I was thinking about this earlier. So Cardiff, I think obviously, but I actually think the other two are going to stay up. So I think Fulham and Wolves are both going to stay up. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens there. Don't be surprised you see Southampton down there again, by the way. The other one, I don't know, maybe a surprise one, maybe a Burnley or something like that. But I think Leicester do well. Leicester sign good players. In fact, I've gone into that in depth. I've got a fantasy football show. I've done it. I've recorded it. I recorded it last night. It's ready to go. I just didn't want to put it out tonight because the game's up. So I'll put that video out tomorrow. I'll discuss a lot of the Premier League stuff. So I want you lot to join in. The code, all the details are in there. Wait for the video tomorrow and join in our mini league. We got prizes, loads of prizes throughout the season. Some of them kindly donated by King Apparel up there, who the winner each month. So it keeps it relevant and it keeps it fresh, basically. So if someone goes off into the lead, it's not like they just win all the prizes. So the winner each month gets to go on to the King Apparel website. They're a clothing company based in Stratford. They make streetwear, excellent gear, by the way. They're West Ham fans as well, and you get to go on their website and choose a T-shirt of your choice, and they wrap it up and send it to you. So can't be bad, can it? So join the mini league. You know, what's the worst going to happen? You might lose, like me. I'm terrible at it, but hey ho, I better get better because I'm hosting the flaming show all throughout the season. So anyway, so that's who I think will go down. Well, two of them anyway. Thought he was Richie thought he was dreadful again tonight. Okay, so I think that's Chris talking about Snodgrass. Yeah, I've noticed a couple of other things just kicking around where Snodgrass wasn't. People didn't really fancy, pretty didn't like what he was doing. So what do we got? Paul Mikowski. Hopefully I've pronounced that right, Paul. So do you think that the board were always going to sign lots of players after having 2 poor seasons? It was almost like it was the plan that they would spend as little as possible just to stay. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. We don't really say he went on to say in the Premiership for 2 years because of the increased revenue. I do agree. And I think they thought that they could wing it. But me personally, I'll tell you what I do think. I think that the guy that owns 10% now, Trip Smith, he paid in the last accounts. He gave the club a £10 million loan, interest-free, which is more the owners haven't given the club a loan interest-free. He's going to take over the club, or the plan is for him to take over the club. Now, he is actually a business partner with Paul Allen, not the one that used to play the 1980 FA Cup final, but Paul Allen, who was, what's the Microsoft geezer's name? Bill Gates' partner. Not like that. Well, no, but if they were, good on them, but they're not. I think I'm pretty sure they're both heterosexual. I'm digging myself a hole here anyway. Who cares? It doesn't matter. So anyway, what we've ascertained is that Bill Gates and Paul Allen are not bang at it. But what we do know is that Paul Allen was Bill Gates' partner. He's minted. He has got a barrel load of cash, and his business partners with Trip Smith. Have I lost you yet? Are you still with me? Oh, the numbers going down. Basically, Trip Smith has got a big backing behind him. I think the idea is for him to take over the club. I think we sailed so close to relegation. I think Trip Smith or whoever the next buyers are probably said to the owners, "Oi, we're out of here. If we get relegated, we're out of here. You better make sure that we are solid in this league." So as in 2 or 3 years when we did a takeover, when the conditions are more favourable, because at the moment, I think we have to pay 20-25% to the stadium operator of any sale value. So once that drops, I think they sell the club. And that's what I think's happened. I do think they were trying to wing it, but I think they've just realised actually they can't. So they've invested money to try and keep us comfortably mid-table. Okay, Dell. Hello, Dell. Wilshere went straight down the tunnel. Are you worried? I saw that. No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried, actually. He seemed to be walking under his own steam. Tom Harris, your tuna fish on the forum. Hello, mate. Thank you. See, there you go. Now it's coming together there. Michael says Snodgrass has a lot of endeavour, but I think sadly doesn't quite have the skill to do really well at this level. He's happy to be proved wrong. We're always happy to be proved wrong, of course, and we're not trying to be negative overly about anyone, but I do agree he's got lots of endeavour, and he is not the least skillful player there. That's why he takes free kicks and corners and things like that. But you're not going to get absolute brilliance out of him, and he's a decent player. He's a decent enough player. I think Villa are interested though, whether they will be able to tempt him away. I think Pellegrini's played quite a clever game. I think Pellegrini has come along and demanded this extra money. I think once he's got the extra money, I think he might have agreed to sell a load of players. I think he's got in there, and I think the intention probably was to sell Antonio, to sell Snodgrass, to sell a few of them. And he's probably got in there and said, actually, thanks for the players. Actually, I don't want to sell him. I think he wants to keep himself a big squad, and I do think Snodgrass will be a part of that. Forever Blowing Bubbles is the same name on the forum. Thanks for that, mate. I thought you might have been. Ben Davis, Police Academy man. Myself, oh, there was a lot of them as well, wasn't there? What's the geezer's name? Hightower. I think the geezer that did all the impressions on there. He was good, wasn't he? Ben McDonald says Cardiff, Huddersfield, and Brighton are his candidates for relegation. Victor says Cardiff, Southampton, Huddersfield. I forgot about Huddersfield. Good call. Brighton, can they do it again? Yeah, your calls are better than mine. Forever Blowing Bubbles says with Burnley in Europe, they could well struggle. You may well be right. Newcastle will go, said Alice. I do wonder. He had a chance to come, didn't he? Rafa Benitez. And he said no. And I do still think that Benitez was the first choice, not Pellegrini. I think Pellegrini was second choice. Possibly even third choice. We're not complaining him. But he decided to stick it out. And I sort of understand why. Because I think he probably took one look at the owners and think, actually, you don't back your managers. I just wonder now if Benitez, having seen us spend 90 to 100 million, depending on what newspaper you read, having seen us spend all that money, if Benitez is thinking, perhaps I made the wrong decision, sticking with Mike Ashley, because they're a club in turmoil. Maybe he's looking, when his glances, thinking, I could have spent 100 million and done well there. So Alice thinks Newcastle would go down. Ben says Joe Hart going to Burnley, reportedly. I'll keep my mouth shut. Forever Blowing Bubbles. Which West Ham team? Which West Ham players you're going to have in your fantasy team? You're going to have to wait until tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow, Ben. Sorry, Forever Blowing Bubbles wasn't Ben, was it? Yeah, I will reveal all tomorrow. It's not that flaming interesting. I say going to reveal all like it's something exciting. It's not exciting. Not many. Not many. I don't like it. Whenever I've gone with me heart above me head, which you do with your own players, I always sort of seem to get things wrong. So I try and get West Ham players to a minimum and try and think of it objectively. I'm terrible at it, and I've just got to do something to be better. There's some really talented people at fantasy football, and I'm just amazed at how much some people know about it. So yeah, some people are going to be winning some prizes. We've got some Canning Town Lane t-shirts. Have you seen the Canning Town Lane trailer? It's on the channel. Have a look. Oh, by the way, the goal is on the channel as well. Chicharito's goal is the video before this one on this channel, West Ham Forum channel. Don't forget to subscribe, as I always say. Pretty sure everyone in live chat's probably subscribed a long time ago. But if you're not, please do subscribe, and you'll get the notification on your phone or your device, whatever it may be, whenever we do a video. It's all right. We're not going to wake you up in the middle of the night. We're not going to publish a video at 3 a.m. Beep, 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 beep. You think, who's that disturbing me? We don't do that sort of thing. We're far too lazy to do that. Where was I? I've lost me. Yeah, fantasy football. Yeah, tune in. We'll do that tomorrow. Sorry, Chris is having a conversation with Paul about something that's happened earlier. I'll stay out of that. Not my conversation, is it? How influential, this is Oliver, says, how influential will Antonio be this season? A massive player for us. Yeah, I think so. I do think so. I think he's proven. He is absolutely proven, Antonio. There's no two ways about it. Some people might not like him, but he scores goals at Premier League level. He's proven in a way that Philippe, I don't know. I'm going to get it wrong all season. Who cares? In a way that Anderson is not proven. I'd be, if they played the same amount of games, I wouldn't be surprised if Antonio scored more goals than Anderson. That's all I'm saying. But I've seen Anderson play 3 times in pre-season friendlies. I know all about Antonio. I've seen him play live more times than I care to remember. I've seen on the telly lots as well. I know all about Antonio. There's no mystery there. There's lots of mystery with Anderson, and I am watching closely to see how well he does. Paul Allen is worth 20.1 billion. Connor's been Googling. Okay, what else we got? Paul Allen owns home state NBA club Portland Trail Blazers. That's a name. The Portland Trail Blazers. His owner that is 100% behind the club, will spend money if needed, and to get players in. There we go. And no mention about his sexuality, which is nice. It was only me that dragged the tone down. Blind Bubble says, if we had Rafa as manager instead of Pellegrini, do you think we would have got as good a quality players we had now? I think we'd have had a couple more defensive players. I don't think we'd have had as many attacking players. But I looked at it today, and I mean, Yarmolenko's injured again. That's a worry. He said the geezer said in the physio's report, oh, he's just working through some ankle and thigh problems. Oh, that's great, you know. But so I did think that when I saw in the second half Obiang playing on the left wing, I knew at that point we probably didn't quite have enough wide players, or maybe he was silly to have why didn't Haksabanovic came on? Maybe he wasn't on the bench, but why wasn't Nathan Holland involved or something like that? So that I don't want to see. I mean, we've had that for ages, square pegs in round holes. If he hasn't got enough players available, I do want the formation to change. I do not want to see central midfielders playing left wing and stuff like that. So, what was the original question? Do you think we'd have got these good quality players that we have now with Rafa? No, I don't think we'd have as many attackers. We have more defensive ones, and it's shown. My long-winded point was, I think it's shown that we need attacking players, and by that I do mean wide players as well. Tom says they're correct. He said if we're out of the Premiership, then we're out of the US market. Obviously talking about the takeover, what I alluded to earlier. Bells says, if you're lonely, sad or depressed, just please give the Bible a chance and see where God can take you. For Jesus in the Bible, for God so loved the world, he gave his only son. Bells, I mean, what can I say? Firstly, you've gone to all that effort to write that, and you've spelt it wrong, my friends. I think you probably jumped on the wrong Dubry as well, mate, to be perfectly honest with you. But thank you very much. I would much prefer to have heard your insights on whether Antonio's going to start. What I must say is you did start by saying if you're lonely, sad or depressed. I would like to think that when people are watching my video, they are not lonely, sad or depressed. I hope not anyway. Oh, maybe I depress them. If so, maybe you might want to take Bells' advice there. Tom Hearns says, Tom Harms says, props to Trip Smith. Troj says, how about everyone stops calling it the Premiership? It's the Premier League. Oh, I take it. But you don't like when people call it the EPL then, do you, Troj? I don't know. Tom says, careful, I'll stop calling it soccer. Ben Davis says, you've got Kane up front. How do you know, Ben? How do you know? Oh, it's on the thumbnail, isn't it? Oh, fair enough. Not much mystery. No, I haven't. I don't even know. No. I'm doing. I've not got Kane up front. I'm doing my team. I'm featuring my team. Here's how the Fantasy League works. I can't see everyone else's team until after the first game was played, because obviously it's an advantage to see other people's teams because you can try and counteract there. So if you were neck and neck with somebody, if you saw their team for the next week, you might be able to act strategically within that. So you can't see the teams until after. So because we've not even had game week 1 yet, I can't see anyone's team. So Connor, who helps with a lot of our graphics, a lot of our thumbnails are done on both channels, are done by either Connor or Tom. And Connor is... I said to Connor, I need another team to talk about on this show. So send me over your team. So Connor, I will reveal that Connor does have Harry Kane's team, which is why I was confused because I was recording a video last night and I was talking about Harry Kane. So no, Ben, I don't. So you're wrong. Who do you think is going to win the league? If it can't be us, again, I've got to do this video, you see. It's got to be Man City, isn't it? Can't look past them. Record goals and all the rest of it last season. Antonio was great when he played kick and run hoof, says Troj. Did you play with him? Well, yeah, jumpers for goalposts in the park and all the rest of it. P-Man says, I've missed most of this, but holding out. Sorry, but holding midfielder. Who would you pick as first choice keeper? Adrienne, I think I've said. Mike's there. Hello, mate. Hope all is going well. Mike, do you want to jump in? Do you want to jump in and say hello? Shall I send Mike Monera of Mike on Monday? Should we see if he is as effervescent on a Friday as he is Monday? Monday is fresh. Mike is fresh on a Monday. Probably stale by the end of the week. I'm like a broken man, Mike, at the end of the week. Mike, I've sent you an invitation to this fine video. I don't even know why I'm inviting Mike in. Didn't even watch the game. Where have you gone? Where's my live chat gone? Oh, goodness. Where are you? I've lost my people. There we go. So I've invited Mike in. We'll see if he comes in. I better put my earpiece in because I need to be able to hear him. So yeah, holding midfielder. I think looking at this, why are people saying holding midfield? Do you think we need one? Richie Van Rock is saying, yeah, get the old man on. They like Mike. People like Mike. They're ready for his new Mike on Monday. He put a trailer out with all his usual co-stars in it. Michelle, the Northern one. Did he have the French one in there? The Russian. He did a Russian. I like the Russian correspondent from the World Cup. Oh, he was good. I liked him. Hold on. Right. Where are we? Just bear with me there, please. I'm just seeing if Mike is coming along to join us. He's there. Hello, Mike.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Not bad at all, my friends.
How's it been going? I'm sorry I've missed it so far. I was getting back from London where I was in a load of meetings today. It's boring. What was the score then? Come on then. I don't even know the score. Well, Chicharito scored.
Oh, well. Since you don't know, I'll run through the team one by one and give my analysis. I'm only joking. I've already done that. I was hoping. I'm like, oh, no, not that again. We won 1-0, mate. It was Chicharito that scored.
Play well, did we?
Well, I thought we played well in the first half. I think the general consensus is, I think, is agreed in the chat that we made a load of subs at half-time, just under half-time, mate. And what I was surprised about was, I said earlier on in the video, I thought Anderson played a bit shit. And I knew, I wasn't, it did just come out of my mouth. I knew, but when I said it, what I was saying. And I was expecting a backlash, and no one said anything.
Yeah, I think it's going to take him a while to adapt. We've been quite lucky with the rest. Obviously, Wilshere knows about the Premier League. A little Jarmolenko, I know he's injured today, but he's looked really good from the off as well. And I thought Balbuena and to a point, Diop has looked pretty much at it from word go as well. Do you know what I mean? But Anderson's one that's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it, I think.
Have you got one that you think out of all of them is going to, you mentioned Yarmolenko there. Who's your star signing, regardless of price?
Probably Wilshere. I think Wilshere's the one that's going to make a massive difference to us. I think we all agreed last year that we had a massive problem in midfield. Do you know what I mean? And I think Wilshere's going to be a huge difference for us. I think Yarmolenko's got a lot to bring as well. But if you want me to pick one, I'm going to go with Wilshere.
Mike, did you that lovely paisley shirt you had that looked like a pair of curtains? You didn't put it in. You didn't put it in the really Larry shirt, like a James May shirt. You didn't stick it in the wash with a load of bleach, did you? Because you look like you've had the life sucked out of your shirt. You were in a very, very plain shirt, my friend.
I'm in all white. Look, summer attire.
Oh, you do. Funny enough, you look. I tell you what, you look very, very holy, my friend. We've had someone in the chat earlier on, asking if we were all basically saying we should embrace Jesus if we are all lonely and depressed, which really worried me because why is he targeting my video for people that are lonely and depressed? What I do to people, I don't know.
Well, you make them lonely and depressed, but no, I'm don't follow Jesus, follow me. I am the new Messiah of Mike on Monday. I will save anyone who's in the show Mike on Monday, so that'll be me then.
Well, yeah, I think obviously we've got a thumbs up, we've got a thumbs down. I might add a noose button to mine as well because clearly I drive people to absolute despair. And I'm sorry, and I do apologise. That's what you get with an unscripted show. I'd say anyway. Back on the football, Balbuena was good, Mike.
He looks like class in a jar, doesn't he? I mean, how much is he? 3 million. I think you spend all this money. It's a bloke who costs 3 million. Another one we got for free. But I mean, I think he carries the ball out of defence really well. I didn't see today's game, but he has done the other games. I assume he did the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I sort of, because of we've seen that, I sort of expected that anyway. But actually, he's reading the game, and he looks a bit gritty, a bit no nonsense as well. Really good. But I think he's going to start. I mean, I just think he's going to start him. I think he's played his way into the team. I said to the folks on the live chat and the viewers earlier that I thought Pellegrini probably had it in mind that he was going to start Ogbonna and Diop. Having paid 23 million for Diop, I think Balbuena's come in and he's probably changed his mind, Mike.
Well, good. I mean, if he's the best player for it, he's the best player for it. I hope so. I still think we're lacking maybe somebody else in midfield. I know there's a general consensus about that. It's hardly breaking news, but we could do with someone who was playing at the anchor of that three in midfield.
Well, there was no three in midfield. There was no three in midfield. It was a two in midfield, and it was just Wilshere and it was just Noble. So I think the easiest way to explain it was as if he'd taken Declan Rice out and put Chicharito in, and Chicharito's playing as a centre forward with an Arnautovic very close to him. People get all fancy with their formations. You could have described it as a 4-4-2, Mike.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Which is all. This 4-2-2-2. That is a 4-4-2. It's just a cool way of saying 4-4-2 because they're 4, 2 in midfield, 2 wingers, 2 strikers.
It all adds up to 12, Mike.
The key issue here is it's 4-4-2, isn't it? That is 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So he played 4-4-2, and that's interesting because that's what he's renowned for playing. Obviously, he's only played 4-3-3, really, which is his second choice formation. But he didn't really have 2 strikers. I wondered if Chicharito was free, whether he would go straight in with it. Oh, that's good to hear.
Well, Troj has made a good point here. He said Diop put in some good tackles with those super long legs, go gadget legs, for people of a certain age, and he thought he looked better. So I think he is right. He did look good when he came on. They swapped at half time. Balbuena and Diop swapped at half time, Mike.
And Ogbonna played the whole game?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Antonio started. Mixed views on Antonio. I thought he was Antonio. He missed a sitter. He missed an absolute sitter. But in mitigation to him, the cross came over, and it looked like they were very close to the goal. It was a free kick. It wasn't even a cross. It was a free kick. We're just outside the area, close in, far closer in than the touchline, and not as deep as a corner. And it came in, and he was pretty much free, and it looked like Diop was going to head it in, but he completely missed it, and it fell to Antonio. He was surprised. It bounced, and it was for him to take as a half volley, and he skied it. He caught it all wrong and skied it over. Dropped to his knees in disgust.
Well, it's pre-season as well. I think a lot of people getting a little bit sort of angsty about it. Oh, he's not looking that good and whatever. Not only of these new players, no one tells on you. Well, not only the new players got settled in, but it's pre-season. Antonio started quite late, didn't he? Because of his injury. He was still getting over when everyone else was doing pre-season. He was still injured, wasn't he? He was still getting over the injury or recovering from it. So he's not had as long to get as match sharp as the others have. So I'm not that surprised about it. So I'm still a big supporter of Antonio. I'm glad it looks like he's staying. I think we really need him in the squad. I didn't want to sell him. I was anti-selling him all along. I know Gio was constantly trying to get me to say on the channel, hey, you should get rid of him. Well, go on. Would you rather have Antonio or Alfie Mawson? Do you know what, Gio? Antonio, thank you. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm not. I don't think he's the greatest player ever, but I do think he fulfills a really valuable role for us. Everyone forgets how good he was the season before last, and I think he can become that player again.
No, absolutely. Stifler, who's in the chat. He says, nice one. I was out on the beach with the dog. Happy to be here. Now, firstly, Stifler, what beach are you at? And when you say happy to be here, do you mean happy to be here watching this video, which is a very depressing place, apparently, or happy to be on the beach? Because, I think one of them is obvious. Where are you? You say beach. Where are you? We want to know where you are. Ben says, Gio watching Wet, Wet, Wet tonight. Yeah, I think he's at the gig. Richie Von Rock, who of course you'll know, Mike from Sinks Like a Rock School of Scuba Diving and jewelry making. Did you know he makes jewelry, Mike?
No, you told me. Yeah, I think I saw on a previous show you were doing without me. How could you?
Well, you sound a bit bitter then when you said without me.
Oh. How could you be so mean?
Well, Richie says, are we getting Ings in this week? We're never getting Ings. It's just going to hang like a cloud over Gio forever. And when Ings is a journeyman, having had a knee ligament damage in both knees, 37 years old, as a substitute for Port Vale, and Gio's all grey, he'll be saying we need to get this Danny Ings fella in. He'll be saying, I still want Ings.
And it'll be in a wheelchair, Rings will be, won't he? Through so many injuries and age, and he'll be wheeling on.
He will. And Quixote will be lifting the World Cup for Senegal. They'll drive him mad.
I actually would tip him over the edge. That genuinely would.
Yes, indeed. So, are you looking forward? You're looking forward to Liverpool? You're not going to Liverpool game, are you? First game's Bournemouth.
Couldn't get a ticket. But I am really looking forward to it. I'm going to go down the pub and watch it, and really excited about the whole thing. I'm doing a pre-season thing on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to do like a whole look forward to the season preview. Those are the words with Mystic Mike. So you've got that to look forward to, and so that'll be good. And but yeah, I am really excited about the whole season. Can't wait to go down to the stadium and see the first home games. Bournemouth, isn't it? You at that?
Yeah, I'll be with you, mate. I'll be with you. I wonder if one day you could come down to the game in characters like the Northern Mike or the Russian Mike or something. Not to put the pressure on you, Mike. Obviously not Michelle. I think Michelle might be pushing it.
That would be pushing it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to see that. Apart from Alice, who I think I read Alice in our live chat did say, is it wrong that she found Michelle attractive? Well, it's very wrong, Alice. It's just not normal and not right. But that's my opinion. Oh, you missed
the cracker.
Yeah, we had a bit of relationship talk about Bill Gates and Paul Allen, and you missed that, Mike.
It sounds like I missed it. You were talking about your fantasy team, Gonzo. Have you told everyone what it's in? Who's in yours?
No, I'll do that tomorrow. I've got a video out tomorrow. With the full reveal, Mike. And I don't mean the full reveal, obviously.
Oh no, your question. Do you want to know who's in mine?
Yes.
Hang on, I've got it up on the screen here. Right then. Here you go. I have got 3 strikers. I haven't decided who's going to play and who's not, right? So I'll just go with who's in the squad. Strikers, Lukaku, Aubameyang, and Arnautovic. What do you think to that?
I think you're going to have to save some money somewhere else within that squad. I think you've got a couple of £4.5 million players elsewhere if you've got that expensive strike force.
But there is good value to be had in midfield. I've got David Silva, Wilshere, Maddison, Jota, and Yarmolenko. What do you think?
Well, I've got to keep my powder a little bit dry, to be fair, Mike, and keep my poker face on. That's what I've got to do.
I've got a few of yours, have I?
No, but you may have, you may not have. I cannot reveal until the video comes out tomorrow.
I'm going to try and get it out of you now.
No. That'll listen, there's people cancel their holidays, and what they're doing, they're people literally stopping their weekends, Mike, to wait for my video tomorrow to see what my fantasy team is.
Well, I can believe
that's
that.
why people are getting depressed. That's why the pastor came into the live chat earlier.
I've got I'll tell you the defences quickly and then we'll move on. I've got Mendy from Bristol City, Luke Shaw, not from Bristol City. Bristol City aren't even in the Premier League. Mendy from Manchester City, Luke Shaw from Manchester United, Tarkowski from Burnley, Trippier obviously from Spurs, and me, who's on the bench at the moment there from Burnley, and my keepers are Pickford and Foster.
Pickford from Bristol Rovers, of course, not Jordan Pickford, he of the England international. Right, listen, I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you all now. My children have been at their nans. They're about to come back, and it's about to get very, very noisy in here. Mike, we'll catch up in a week. Thank you for joining me, my friend.
My pleasure, mate. Take care.
I will see you very, very soon. Don't forget, we've got Mike on Monday, which of course is on Monday Verdict. He's going to be looking forward to the season. Please don't. Thank you, everybody in the live chat for joining. Thank you to everybody that's watched. You might not be watching it live. You might be watching it later on. Thank you to everybody for joining in. Don't forget the fantasy football. Don't forget, if you want to see the Chicharito goal, it's on this channel. Just whatever. Click stop on this video and just look at that. Decide for yourself. Did Antonio get a touch? Was it keeper? Was it an own goal? They're certainly giving it to Chicharito. Have a look at the Canning Town Len trailer. Big extravaganza coming out on that. That's going to be a big, big video. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a gangster heist. It's Canning Town Len epic, a gangster heist involving some of your favourite characters. Of course, none of the characters in it bear any resemblance to anybody that might be construed to be their real life counterparts. I think that's a disclaimer, allegedly. Thanks for joining me. Have a really nice weekend. Lots of videos on the main channel all throughout the week. Lots of videos on this channel. We've got a big build up to the Liverpool game. It'll be very, very interested to see what happens. We've got transfer deadline. Will more players come in? Will more players be sold? I don't know. Why am I asking you? You ain't got the answer. Who knows? Enjoy your weekend. And thank you, as always, for putting up with us.